The Administration of Justice program is assessing critical thinking. We have a rubric that was designed by the Office of Outcomes Assessment that we've used. We've used it for 3 semesters now. The faculty's been involved. They've come along over time. Adjunct faculty have been very involved. Full-time faculty, we're a small department. We've been very involved from the beginning, and we've had buy-in now, I think, from all our faculty members.
Okay.
Our adjuncts are much more on board now than they were when we began the process. We started several years ago. At first there was a lot of concern about what would be done with the data, so I think people were reluctant to get involved. Now we've had several go-arounds with this. They've seen that they're not being evaluated on the basis of what they're doing particularly, but we're looking at the program, if we're achieving what we tried to achieve. And I think they're much more on board now than they were. We've had a couple. We kind of got off to a false start. We thought we wanted to measure communications, and as it turns out, that's not actually what we were interested in. That's not the skill set. So we were trying to measure the wrong thing to get the information that we needed. Now we're on board. We have the correct rubric possibly to use. At least we were measuring what we want to measure now, and we have a nice, simple rubric, which makes it much more likely that adjunct faculty is going to use the rubric. It took us a while to get to understand that. We tried to do all kinds of computations at first to compute the grading scale versus assessment, and now I think everybody's on board in terms of understanding the difference between those two. Adjuncts have been very involved. We have a program evaluation coming up this year, which I think has helped them have a reason to be involved. Adjuncts typically don't like to do a lot of extra work if they don't see the value in it. I think our adjuncts see the value in that now. Stay with the process, have a plan B or C or whatever it takes. Just keep going back. So if what you're doing now doesn't work, step back, take a look at it. The Office of Outcomes Assessment can help you do that. Step back and see, are we measuring, is what we're doing what we think we want to do? And then be able to interpret the data. So Office of Outcomes Assessment is really helpful.